Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're giving you 5 tips to help you so that ignorance does not cost you abroad. Ignorance can cost you abroad. We're here to offer you some help so that doesn't happen, okay? So tip 1, get your passport. Number 1. That's basically, what were you saying? Your ID. Basically.
Yeah, it's like your new ID. When you're living overseas, when you're moving abroad, it essentially does become your new ID. When we go into stores here or like any official government buildings or just, certain security stuff, you will be asked for your passport. So you always want to have that on you. Make sure you have a nice case or something to put it in because it could get some wear and tear because it is a little book. But yeah.
And you want to keep it crisp as well, okay? This is stuff that will help you if you're starting, to plan moving abroad, or whether you've done it here and there or somewhere just in between, so stay tuned, all right? We want that passport to be crisp, no ruined pages, no creases or things like that, because people are always checking to see for counterfeits and things like that. And in the time we're living in, the high scrutiny on your travel documents is just kind of through the roof, okay? So you want to get your US passport if you don't have one. If you do, check to see if it has 6 months or more on it. If it doesn't, you need to renew, because we've heard in real life, even seen in movies, where people were at customs ready to leave the country, fly out of the country, but they were denied because they didn't have 6 months or more on their passport. You can fact check, double check in case the number increased or decreased or anything like that. When you're doing expat move abroad life, our family has learned that things fluctuate as far as news, travel documents, requirements, things at customs, etc. So we include in our videos and in the description here pathways where you can get your passport or renew it. You can do it at the post office. You can do it in the links in the description as well online for you, for your children especially. We were just interviewed by someone who just got her 3-year-old daughter her passport, and she was really, really excited about that. But that's just really, really key. Here, lastly, remember, as a first step here, I like this thing here. It's not a plane ticket, it's not a visa. The passport is just the document that gives you the option to leave if you ever need to. A lot of people have it, and a lot of people regret not having it. We don't want that to be you. So go get your passport, guys.
Yeah, something did come back to me, and that is, when you are able to get a permit or, the residency in whatever country you're moving to, you can relax a little bit on that passport. But in the first few months, in that first year, you're gonna wanna always have that on you. It's almost like your wallet at that point.
Exactly, so keep that thing on you. So that brings us to point 2. So we talk about immigration, cost of living, culture shock, and more to prepare you. And there are so many helpful apps out there for your move abroad journey, but there's one in particular that's crucial for your day-to-day activity, and that's Airlo, today's sponsor. If you're planning a move or a long-term trip soon, we highly recommend downloading the free Airlo app before you leave. It's one less thing for you to stress about before you land. We all know what it's like to buy and set up a new SIM card. We also know firsthand how inconvenient it is, requiring you sometimes to purchase an entirely separate phone while traveling, waiting in line for hours, or even having to take multiple trips back during the week to finalize the process. With Airlo, convenience is key, giving you access to eSIMs that you can download and install. It's the world's first eSIM store, with 200 plus countries and regions to choose from. eSIM stands for embedded SIM and is already pre-installed on your device. And it functions as a digital SIM card, so you can complete the process before you board the plane and from the airport or anywhere with a Wi-Fi connection after you land. But with Airlo, you can choose either a prepaid, local, regional, or global eSIM plan. Text, call, and use mobile data with ease of use and no roaming fees. So whether you're on a solo trip, your honeymoon, or retiring abroad, connectivity is everything. So download the free Airlo app today. The link is in the video description. And use code AWAKEN to get $3 off your first eSIM. We do earn a small commission if you make a purchase, and we appreciate your support.
Next up are our list of visa-free countries for Americans. This is huge because we don't realize how powerful our passport is to
Yeah.
get you into so many countries. There's actually over 100 plus, but we're just going to go over some in this video, and that would be Portugal. Portugal is a huge country I know on people's lists, and I don't even think we realize you can go there visa free to explore, to live for some time, and I think that's just a huge bonus.
Yeah, we know, we don't know them, but we enjoy their videos. Our Rich Journey, also a YouTube travel family. They've been living in Portugal for several years now and just document all the highs and lows. The highs outweigh the lows, but they're one resource you could use to learn more about Portugal if you were ever interested. But yeah, there's just the power of the US passport. As of today, it still has the powers that it does that we just encourage you guys to make use of. There's also South Africa.
Yeah.
That's also visa-free for Americans. You'll have to check online each country website, but each country has a different amount of time that you can visit the country visa-free for. A common one might be 3 months, maybe, or so, but you just want to double check.
Up next is Greece. That's a big one. I mean, growing up, you see like specific countries, you know, over in that region all the time that are like a huge deal. You know, you got the pyramids and all this different stuff. Greece, you can go there visa free. You know, of course, like we say, you want to check, do your research online to make sure, you know, how long you're able to be there, but to be able to get off a plane and be like, you know, here's my passport.
Right.
And that ease of access, you know, you don't want another thing hanging over your shoulder or something you have to worry about. So that's huge. I know we have family friends that like to visit Greece frequently.
Yeah, they just had a birthday, I think, this year or last year in Greece, and they've probably been there 2 or 3 times. And there's also another expat family I follow who, I don't think they're in Greece anymore right now, but they have a digital nomad visa. Spoiler alert, we'll get into that in a second. But while this family, Cara Celeste West, I believe is her name, been following her for a while, they globetrot all over, and they spent quite a bit of time in Greece talking about the benefits and just some of the things that they were going through. And they're American, they're originally from Texas, so that's a country that you might consider. There's also the Bahamas. We've been there. It was like a through Carnival cruise, so we were only, the cruise was a week, y'all know how it is, so we were only there for a few hours. But American citizens, we didn't need a visa or anything like that as far as I remember, because it was back in, you don't think so? I think it was in like 2011.
Yeah, something like that time.
So whether you needed one then, you don't need one now, is the point. As of 2025, you don't need one. And last we checked, you can be in the Bahamas for it like 200 days or more visa free. Remember
That's
we
like
told you every
half
country's
the
different.
year.
That's like that's like half the year.
Good amount of time.
2/3 of the year, like that's a really good amount of time. And we talk about these visa-free countries just as a way of saying you never know what your plan is, or we don't know what your plan is. Thank you, some of you who email us and share. We love to hear. But going to a visa-free country might be a means for you to kind of scout around, maybe depending on your quality of life and what you're able to do. And like you were saying, having that ease of access is just one less thing to stress about.
Yeah, the last country on the list is Spain. So again, you can go to Spain. I know that's a really big list, a really big country on the list for Americans who like would love to travel. So you can go there again if you got your passport. You get off that plane. Ease of access.
Ease of access, and yes, we've seen plenty of black folk, for any of you wondering, are living in Spain. Some are even retired. Some are our age or a little bit younger. There was someone I followed on TikTok. He spent a lot of time in Spain as a digital nomad doing content creation and stuff like that, and just talked about a lot of the cost of living, how much he enjoyed Airbnbs, the art, museum scene, things like that. So yeah. Our next tip, digital nomad visas. What you got, DB?
Our first country here is the Philippines.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's brand new. I believe that just got added to the list this year.
I think it was April, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this, digital nomad visas are relatively new, I think, within the last 10 years.
Yeah,
maybe
something
less.
like that. Maybe less, and got more popular after C-19.
Yeah. So this is huge because with your digital nomad visa, you can work remotely, live in this, this destination country for quite some time, get paid, and enjoy the benefits of the country. So
Yeah.
it's great to see Philippines is on this list. What's up next, Josiah?
You know a lot about this one. Japan. Daniel and Dad went to Japan for your senior trip.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I gave up prom to go to Japan with my dad. It was great. We got to visit
Nice.
Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo. So
Nice,
it
nice.
was great. We had a lot of museums. We went to the famous Nora Park. We got to pet the deer.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah.
We got like sworn by all the deer.
Yeah, you're supposed to crack the crackers and give it to them individually, but I had them all in my hand, and I got swarmed and lost my shirt, and it was such a fun time.
Yeah. Now, you guys weren't digital nomads or anything, but you spent time there.
Yes.
And I think that one's relatively new. That one might have gone into effect early last year, 2024, as of this video. So we were saying that there's over 40 digital nomad visas right now, over 40 countries offering digital nomad visa programs as of this video. And again, back when the world was on punishment, back in 2020, and remote work really skyrocketed, a lot of countries were welcoming a lot of different foreigners to come in. And this is just one way that you can travel abroad. There's a level of ease of access and things for business owners, freelancers, contractors, and things like that. We also have Namibia is a country. There's also Mauritius.
I think they even have a golden visa you can get if you spend, I think it's 300,000, something like that. You're gonna need to fact check, but I think they have a golden visa where you're set for a good amount of time. Do your research.
Yeah, I think there's a 10-year visa that's practically free on a basic level of either digital nomad, as we were talking about, or retirement, where all you have to do is produce in a Mauritian bank your statements of $1,500 a month or something like that. And so it's practically free. It's your money. You just put it in a Mauritian bank, and they just see that, oh, okay, you're not mooching and leeching off the country.
Yeah.
You're a thriving business owner, and we see you've hit the threshold or more for $1,500 USD or the equivalent, because I think they operate in rupees. And the Mauritian government's like, yeah, stay. And I believe it's like a 10-year visa. Again, check these things, because like we were saying with expat life, country, other governments, sometimes things fluctuate.
Yeah.
So you just want to be on top of that stuff, okay?
Next up is Seychelles, country here you can go to.
Nice. Another island nation.
Yeah,
so
another
that's
island
one.
nation.
African.
Really developed.
Yeah, and also the Bahamas came up again. I didn't know that they had a digital nomad visa. So these are just a few places. Like we said, there's almost 50 as of now digital countries offering digital nomad visas. So more and more are popping up all the time, So those are just things for you to be abreast of, or like Daniel was saying earlier, there's over 100 countries you as an American can go to visa free. There could be more being added all the time, so long as you stay on top of those things. And so number 5 on our list of helping you not be ignorant. Ignorance can cost you moving abroad. So we want to give you these 5 tips. So to recap, we told you get your passport. We gave you the idea to download the Airlo app for convenience, eSIMs. Told you about the visa-free countries for Americans, digital nomad visas, now most peaceful countries. What's the first one we want to talk about?
This is really important because one of your whys for moving abroad could be, safety is a huge thing on your list, and peace is really important to you. And each country handles that differently. And maybe, coming from the States, you just want a bit more. So here's a whole list of countries for you. And the first one is Tanzania, actually.
Right where we're at.
Right where we are at. So it is very peaceful here. There are several single women we know here who live in Tanzania. So they walk out
you can walk out at night and it's okay.
Yeah.
Some are retired. You may have seen our interview with Mama Sonia, or if you haven't, check that out on the channel, where she's retired and she's with her mother who's in her early 90s, and they're doing just fine here.
Don't even take our word for it. Go watch the video.
So that's something, especially for, a lot of black women are like the face of this move abroad globe-trotting thing. You love to see it. So we know a lot of y'all want to know, how safe is it to be moving abroad? Well, these are just 5 countries on a huge list that you can find on a lot of resources like the Global Peace Index. We talk a lot about that. That's also in our Epic Expat Research Guide. You can get that link in the description, where it's just a link tree style thing in one document so that you can see that or see any changes to it. But Tanzania is one of the safest.
Up next is Mauritius. So again, we're coming back to Mauritius. Not only is it a digital nomad country, it's one of the most peaceful.
Yeah, no one's got any problems with Mauritius. Near as we can tell, and the government is welcoming people all the time. It looks like a really beautiful island nation. Can't wait to check it out someday. So that's one that you might check out. There's also Ghana, super popular. People have been going in and out of Ghana for a long time, and we know some people there. We've also interviewed the migrating mom. She's out there in Accra, Ghana, thriving, doing well. So that's a place that you can still consider.
I think we did a video talking about people who got citizenship also in Ghana.
Was that earlier this year or last year?
I don't remember.
It was recent.
One of us will throw it in the edit.
Like 500 people or more, including a lot of Black Americans or Caribbean people, also got their citizenship. So that's really exciting. The world is opening up in a lot of interesting ways all the time.
Yeah, and I know we're talking about like peaceful countries, but since we're talking about the citizenship, is it Benin that just?
That's right. Yep.
Also,
they just started a program. I think Sierra, the artist, singer-songwriter, might have been. Was she the first one or the first woman, maybe, to get the citizenship? I think this week or last week.
It was like last week. So that's another thing. We did a video on that as well. You should check that out.
Yep.
So just. Things are happening.
There's also, what's this one? Botswana.
Mom's favorite.
Yeah, Mom loves that. We've been looking at them for a while. They're down in the South African region. They're one of the most peaceful, with an interesting history, a lot of various amenities and things that are more the speed of Westerners. So that might be another reason, safety and infrastructure. That might be a reason that you look into it. So just consider that. And the last one,
Seychelles.
Oh yeah,
We'll come back to Seychelles. Not only digital nomad visa, but it's another peaceful country. And if that's on the top of your list, here it is. It's right available for you.
So y'all got options. So we just wanted to jump on here, make this video. Again, people perish for lack of knowledge, and we don't want anyone to lose out in any way. This is not by any means an exhaustive list. If you're new here or a longtime supporter, thank you. You know that our family thrives and excels at giving you ideas to help you start planning to move abroad. Because sometimes just starting any new thing, that's the most overwhelming part. But it's like eating an elephant one spoonful at a time, if you've heard that expression.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. And that's why I'm really thankful for Airlo for sponsoring this video, taking off some of that overwhelming pressure when it comes to getting your SIM card, doing the eSIM. So it's just right on your one phone. So thank you again.
So links to everything that we mentioned, like Airlo, Expat Research Guide, our resources, all types of goodies are linked in the description of this video. It was really awesome to make this, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Be blessed in your travels. See ya.